These are live pictures from Washington. Our viewers can see them on the screen there now, and it's quite something. The parade for the US Army and coinciding with Donald Trump's birthday. We've had confirmed the Prime Minister will meet President Trump on Tuesday in Canada, Wednesday our time. It sounds to me that this focus on the economic relationship and the Amazon meeting really designed to remind President Trump of how embedded Australia is in our economic relationship with the United States, and through that free trade agreement to say, look, it's not just about putting walls up, that engagement and trade, free trade, is what we need to embrace, Tim Ayres. Is that true? Is that part of the design of that meeting with Amazon ahead of the G7?
Well, the announcement's not designed to secure that objective, but it certainly, as you say, does underscore the depth of the economic and strategic and technological relationship. You know, it's not just about trading in goods and services, it's about collaboration around science and research and development and in industrial terms. So there is enormous potential in the digital economy. Of course, you see AUKUS offering opportunities for Australian and United States firms, not just to trade in terms of goods and services, but to invest in each other's economy. And that is a real counterpoint to the position that the United States has adopted around tariff announcements. They are not the act of a friend, as has been said repeatedly by me and my colleagues. They are not in Australia's interest, but they're not in the United States' interest either. Australian steel, for example, exported to the United States, feeds into American supply chains and supports competitive industry that provides good jobs for American workers. Why on earth would anybody want to make Australian steel in the United States more expensive? That's what the tariff measures do. So we'll be, and the Prime Minister will be representing that position directly to the President of the United States, as Ambassador Rudd and all of us as ministers have been doing. We'll continue to do that calmly and consistently, but the Amazon announcement does underscore how vital the direct economic relationship really is.
How important is it that that meeting has been confirmed now, that the Prime Minister will meet President Trump and start to build that personal relationship, that rapport, which we know can be pivotal, not just with presidents of yesteryear, but particularly with Donald Trump?
The first thing to say is it's not unusual for these kind of meetings to be confirmed on the run. There's an enormous amount of logistics and challenge that go into these international meetings. It's an important discussion, but it's just one of the discussions that the Prime Minister will be having with G7 leaders from around the world, with Canada, with the United Kingdom, and more broadly with Japan. So it is an important opportunity. The Prime Minister's already had quite a few direct. You know, we are a long way away physically, Kieran, from the United States. He's had a series of direct and very, very cordial discussions with the President of the United States. I'd expect that to be, that's what will continue. It'll be a useful discussion. It'll be an opportunity for the Prime Minister to represent Australia's interests in the way that he does in all of his international engagements, in the Australian national interest. So we'll see that occur.
It does come at
the G7 is
a tricky time.
It's a much broader discussion. Yeah.
I want to ask you, just finally though, we've seen the unrest on the streets. You got the chaos in the Middle East. There's a lot happening, but specifically to you as a member of our parliament, the latest example of political violence in the United States, a Minnesota politician and her husband assassinated, and another politician and his partner recovering, thankfully it looks like in hospital. But this is it is quite shocking, isn't it, when you see the level of political violence that is carried out in the United States, not the least of which that assassination attempt recently against the president himself.
Well, it's a shocking development. I don't want to commentate on the actual events themselves, still unfolding, but absolutely horrifying. It's terrible, this kind of political violence when it happens anywhere around the world. Obviously, Australians are watching what is happening there with concern. And it's a reminder, isn't it, about how important and precious our own democracy is. That the Australian way that we do things here is absolutely crucial, and should be treasured and protected and nurtured. And we've all got a responsibility there. I mean, this is this act of violence in the United States has been perpetrated by the man who committed it. But it is a reminder about how important and precious our democracy is and our political culture is, and all of us in the Parliament and beyond should be working every day to protect it.
Industry and Innovation Minister Tim Ayres, thanks for your time this Sunday. Appreciate it.